YouTube was good as boy. Pause Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Hey, guess what? If it's your first time tuning in, hit the notification bell. Well, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell every time I post some new content. People, I really don't know what the fuck was going on with the internet. Yes, I got my tasty beverage. Yes, it's Friday. I didn't have a job last Friday. Matter of fact, I ain't had a job, a real steady job, ever since I motherfucking retired. So, hey, it is what it is. A lot of stuff in the news as usual. Motherfuckers say, oh, we got aliens down here that's 1,200 years old. But here's the deal, people. Why they wait that goddamn long? I mean, considering, okay, look, these motherfuckers, they quick to find every goddamn thing else, right? But, and then some of the shit that y'all finding really ain't worth a damn. You know, be worried about motherfuckers that's out here that killed folk and y'all still ain't found them yet. That's what the hell y'all need to be worried about. But I really ain't too fucked up by no goddamn alien. Because for the most part, if you ask a crazy uncle, and what do I think about aliens? I would tell you that them motherfuckers don't exist. Because the thing about it though is this, right? If indeed these little raggedy fuckers do exist, right? How come they look similar to us? They got that big ass head, little bit ass body. Made me think they done took pictures of the people from the hungry land and say, you know what? We're gonna take this and we're gonna make us an alien. Right? So that's how I feel about the whole motherfucking alien shit. But the main thing that I actually really want to talk about today is this. I've been watching these motherfuckers, these TikTok reaction folk. And for the most part now, whether they actually really believe it in the shit that they seeing, that's neither here nor there. Right? But some of that shit, what they be talking about, I'm just like, come on now. Y'all can't be serious. But then, hey, look, it is what it is. So, so it was just one I was watching, because I swear, like every video they have something on there about flat Earth this, flat Earth that, flat Earth the other. But these motherfuckers, they always every time they talk about all the Earth is flat. You notice that the motherfucker they always in the motherfucking airplane, right? And then they always got to carry their ass to Antarctica or Alaska where the sun don't go down, so they say. But there's no the sun does go down in Alaska and it actually really stays down for quite some time. So so just know every time that they carry their ass up to Alaska or Antarctica, no, see the sun don't go down. Yeah, dude. They just went up there or down there when the sun is constantly up. All right. So, but enough of that. I want to talk about aerial maps before airplanes. Right? I'm like, okay, how do so my thing is, how do they know or how did they know what the United States looked like or any other country for that matter? How did they know what these countries look like before a motherfucking airplane flew over it and said, ah! That's North America, South America. That the UK. And how they know all that before anybody had enough sense to say, you know what? I wanna fly like the birds. I'm gonna build me an airplane. Now, according to history, the Wright brothers, they did that shit way back in 1908. But some of these maps has happened before 1908. And then, and you know, so, and I mean, you know, even by today's standards, you know, you can get in your little spaceship or whatever, as long as you don't get past the Van Allen radiation belts, right? Because ain't nobody been to no damn moon either. All right. So in either case, right, long as you look, you can go up, but just know you go too goddamn far, yeah, you got some serious radiation that you got to deal with. And you know, and for you flat earth motherfuckers, right? Y'all always holler about, oh, the earth is flat. Explain the goddamn Grand Canyon. Explain motherfucking Mount Everest. Draw back all the goddamn water. Explain that shit. Okay, but y'all holler about the earth is flat. And I'm just like, okay, maybe it's that one part of y'all's brain that is like this. And it's got y'all thinking, the earth is flat. Ignorant bastards. But hey, again, that's neither here nor there. I really wish, in which I did, I really ran into a so-called flat earther a while back. And he was talking about, well, this, that, the third, and all that kind of stuff. And I'll ask him the exact same question. Well, explain if I said, I said, okay, if the earth is flat, then explain the Grand Canyon, explain Mount Everest. That bastard, he couldn't do it. I said, explain yourself. Because the human body comes from the earth. Your ass ain't flat. Especially those of us, the female version of the human body. You know, y'all got this up here and that back there. So, you know, so hey, guess what? The earth is not flat. Okay, so I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Throw that shit out the fucking window. But what I do want to know is how they do that shit before airplanes. And are there really 7 continents? I mean, because considering that, okay, the scientists say that the earth is X of millions years old. Okay? And, you know, depending on who the fuck you talk to, they'll be like, oh, well, dinosaurs lived 70 million years before man walked across. And then here it is. They already done showed y'all that man and dinosaur did indeed live together. We live with shit that's bigger than us. Look at the goddamn giraffe, the motherfucker, the elephant, the rhinoceros. All that shit is bigger than us. So what makes us different than the folk back then? All right. Yeah, the dinosaur was bigger than us, but then again, depending on who the fuck you talk to, and and then there's skeletons to prove that proves this. At one time, man was just as tall as the damn dinosaur. Okay? Matter of fact, they probably had the motherfuckers as pets. Like we have dogs as pets. So yeah, here's the deal, right? Now, some of the stuff that we watch on television is, it's actually like really legit. Take the Flintstones. That was a cartoon. Fred had a dinosaur. Dino. He was a dinosaur. Right? So so for the most part, you almost got to actually stop and ask yourself, okay, well, damn, how tall was Fred and Barney for them to have a motherfucking dinosaur as a pet? Considering how big we know the dinosaur to be, we got bones of it. And see, that's another thing, right? Motherfucker, they put bones of the T Rex, the Triceratops. They put all that shit in the motherfucking museum. I have yet to see a motherfucking skeleton that is 12 feet tall. But you go listen. Go on any motherfucking YouTube channel or just go on YouTube and type up giant human skeletons, and then there you go. Right? So again, these motherfuckers, they act like look, you see what they want you to see. Right? And so, but just like I say, before airplanes, they want to say, oh, this is what the earth looked like. How you know you ain't had no goddamn airplane? Okay. So again, because the crazy uncle, I'm always looking for something. I'm like, okay, well, how they do that? And then how many of y'all actually really remember that show, How the States Got Their Shapes? So again, here we go, right? How did these motherfuckers know, like, okay, well, from from we gonna do north, south, east, and west. So we could be like from this to this and this to that. This belong to y'all. Y'all can call it whatever the fuck you want, right? And then they gonna call. All right, well, uh we gonna call this New Hampshire. And then they go on down or they go up and say, all right, well, from this to this and from that to that, but just know that we got to cut this shit off at an angle, right? And they say, all right, y'all call it this, and we gonna call it Maine. But then again, y'all see where the fuck I'm going with this. So my whole deal is, right? You can carry your ass up as far as you wanna, right? And then you get where, and you put your little satellite up there, and then you take a picture, and then you be like, okay, well, I know where Florida is at. I know where Texas is at. I know where California is at. But all that shit in between, I don't know what. I don't know what it is, how y'all want to shape that shit. And then, so again, right? I mean, now, and again, unless these motherfuckers was actually like really smart, or again, somebody lying to us. Like, seriously, right? And as far as like the continents go, and again, just like I said, right, these depending on who the fuck you talk to, right? And then just like I said, as far as like Google goes, I'm doing a show. And so my whole deal is, wait a minute, damn, I forgot what the fuck I was gonna do. Let's say this. How old is the Earth? How old is the Earth? Now, hear this. This is just estimated now. The Earth is estimated to be, get this, 4.54 billion years old. Plus or minus 50 million years. So in other words, you really don't know how old the Earth is. Okay? And then you gotta ask yourself, okay, well, how did y'all come to that damn number? Right? Because I've already done told y'all that man and dinosaur lived together. They got proof of this. And then there's actually really proof in the Bible where they talk about it. They didn't call them dinosaur, they called them behemoth, which is very large animal. They said that they was up in the trees eating, and his feet was on the ground. That's goddamn dinosaur, if you ask me, right? So again, this is what the fuck they tell us. So I'm gonna tell you something. If you really look at time, and watch, a lot of y'all gonna be like, oh, here you go, he bringing religion in it. But the whole thing about religion is this. Religion is something that you do on a daily basis. Guess what? I drink on a daily basis. So this is a motherfucking religion. Okay? You don't believe me? Go look up the etymology of the word religion. Don't you get your ass up every morning? Don't you get your ass up, wash your face, brush your teeth, or whatever? Those of us that are able, right? But don't you piss and shit every day? Don't you get something to eat every day? So for the most part, that could be classified as a motherfucking religion. Okay? And then I mean that's anything that you actually really do on a daily basis, whether it's jacking your dick, playing with your pussy, or actually doing a ground and pound. Hey, guess what? It's what the fuck you do on a daily basis. Guess what? It could be classified as a motherfucking religion. Okay? So in either case, so let's look at this. These motherfuckers, they don't know how old the earth is. So let's just actually really look at it. And then again, you really can't look at it that way. But let's just say like, okay, look, we gonna look at it how Yahweh look at it. Yahweh say one day to us is 1,000 years to him. Okay? So considering that the earth expands 1.5 inches a year. So let's times it by 1,000. And then how many miles you get out of that? Probably not even 2 miles, right? Probably like 1.5 miles, right? So let's just say, okay, you get 1.5 miles out of 1,000 years. So let's do 10,000. Let's do 10,000, right? So that's 10.5. So 100,000. That's 100 miles, right? Y'all see where the fuck I'm going with this, right? So again, now, granted fact, yeah, That the satellite is, right? And then you know you got to be like, okay, well, and then you look at the world map, and then these motherfuckers they'll tell you, hey, this is this is that in the third, right? But again, do we, you know, and then I could be like falling into the flat earth shit, but my thing is this: why the fuck would they tell us at one point that all of this shit was connected together? And then you got to ask yourself, okay, well, how long was it connected together? Because again, let's go back to what it says in the Bible, right? It says, hey, look, all of this was one landmass. And it actually really tells you, like, okay, well, look, the shit starts separating, right? But then again, you still got to ask yourself, okay, how long did it actually really take for all this shit to actually really break apart? And for it to actually really be in the position that it is today, right? Considering, and you know, again, these scientists, they don't know what the fuck. They really don't know how old this. They don't know how old this shit is, right? So I'm looking at this simple fact. Okay, I just told you how far, and then again, they, you know, I just look at it like this: if they don't know how old this shit is, right? How do you know how far shit moves, right? I mean, because these motherfuckers, they look, they can go up there and they can take a picture of it and then they can say, well, hey, this is this right here. And I'm like, no, motherfucker, this is where I stay. So, so again, this goes back. Somebody somewhere lying because I look, they did that shit before airplanes. How did they do that then? I mean, yeah, it we know how they doing it now, but how did they do it before the airplane? And how high did I mean? Because shit, even at 35,000 feet, right? You really can't you really can't decipher what is what on the ground. And you know, I'm just, you know, y'all gotta actually really stop and think about this for a minute. A lot of us didn't been in a goddamn airplane before, right? So I mean, even just like I say, 30,000, 33,000, right? Yeah, you up pretty high, but considering how big a state is, right? How do you know you going from one state to the next, right? And then I mean, and then you know, I can actually really take it back as like my very first deployment trip to Saudi Arabia, right? We up in the plane, and then they wanted us to keep the goddamn shades down. So we couldn't look up, we couldn't look up, we couldn't raise the shade and see where the fuck we was at. Now, my whole deal is this. I was stationed in El Paso, Texas. And for those y'all that been to El Paso, Texas, y'all already know what that shit look like, right? So we up in the air, we can't see shit or whatever. And then when we finally land in Saudi Arabia, guess what? That shit looked like El Paso, Texas. And I actually really came out and said, I'm like, damn, they kept us up in the air for 18 hours just to change the shit around. And I told her, I said, look, y'all, we still in El Paso, Texas. We ain't in no goddamn Saudi Arabia, right? They done went in, we up in the air, right? They done went and changed some of the buildings around, brought all these motherfuckers over and said, oh, you in Saudi Arabia. No, the fuck we wasn't, people. All right. I mean, because the thing about it, though, you almost got to ask yourself, where the fuck are we? And why are these people actually really charging us all this goddamn money to get on the motherfucking airplane and go where? Just saying. Right? Then I know a lot of you motherfuckers do, well, what about when you go to Germany? Okay, what about it? Okay, they speak different. But then again, them motherfuckers, they speak English too. Okay? Let's not get this shit twisted, people. Everywhere you go, everywhere you go, they speak in English. Right? Something to think about, people. So ask yourself these questions. Are there really 7 continents? And how did they do that shit before goddamn airplane? And how big do we really know a state is? I mean, yeah, you can do that shit at ground level. But even then, you got to be like, okay, when does it start? Or put it like this, when does it stop? Well, when does it start? And then where does it stop? Whether you're going north and south or east and west. So, that's what the fuck y'all get to do. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dan, tell Big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door, cross street, round the corner. Paulus Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Y'all have a good weekend. I'm gonna holler at y'all.